cafecito this morning. Boy, do I have an interesting guy today. I'm going to say tiny little few things about him, and then we'll let Armando Guerra tell the story of what he's been through and what he did as a very young soldier. First of all, I remember Armando at Edgewood High School. Right. Armando, what year did you graduate?
1970.
70, okay, so you were right after me. Besides Edgewood High, because I know you were there, what other schools did you attend in Edgewood?
Escobar
okay.
and Coronado.
Okay, so you lived in that area over there. Give me what streets, what cross streets that you live on?
San Joaquin and El Paso.
Okay, so I know exactly where. Siblings, how many kids are y'all?
7.
Y'all were 7, and everybody went to Coronado, everybody went to Edgewood.
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right out of a little bit of high school. In high school, what were you interested in doing? What did you do?
ROTC and choir. I even did some homemaking.
Oh, good for you. That's how you got to meet Dalia. Homemaking?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Out of high school, what did you move into? Did you get a job? What happened right out of high school?
I did get a job where Fiesta, Texas is at now. They were moving, they took a whole hill out.
That's right, the digging, oh my goodness, I remember that.
Right out of high school, I got hired over at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my, I remember that. I remember, it was like a quarry, like a rock.
Yeah, they make all types of stone, gravel, sand, everything. They blow everything up.
I remember that. I remember because it had a big wall, and then everything was just digging, y las trocotas with dirt and dust would be coming down.
Yeah.
Be dark, fíjate. And then Armando, what happened?
And then I got drafted.
Okay, drafted, and you took off to where?
I took off. They sent me to Louisiana.
Okay.
For infantry training. And
so the training they were going to offer you in the military was infantry?
Yes.
Okay. Because that was one of my questions. What kind of schooling did you go to? But it was during Vietnam?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did armor too, because infantry also has armor. And I did it when I went into the Army, and then after I got out of the White House.
White House? What do you mean by White House?
I got sent to the White House because they couldn't send me because my brother was in Vietnam and I had been drafted.
Okay. I've heard of that.
So I went over. They sent me over there. I didn't want to go when they told me that if I wanted to go to D.C. because I had the qualifications and I was tall and all of that.
And you had done your ROTC at Edgewood, so
Right.
You knew the
more or less.
of course.
I knew
sure.
the marching and all that.
Yeah.
So they sent me over there and I said no, but they sent me anyway. And they had me in quarantine about 35 days where I couldn't contact nobody because they were going through the White House investigation for the clearance to work in the White House. And then at the end, they took us to Taylor's and they started making stretch blues for us.
Oh my goodness.
And they started making us certain height. So they added a lot of layers at the bottom of your feet. And then all of a sudden, then they send you into a unit, and you're mainly doing funerals in Arlington, and also outside when they request it. So they get the 21 gun salute and the tabs.
So you got to be part of that group of soldiers for funerals, for taps, for when the president walks out and the soldiers are with him or behind him.
Yeah.
Who was president at that time?
Richard Nixon.
Nixon. Interesting man. Did you get to see him, meet him?
Yeah.
You got to sit with him?
Well, not sit with him.
Okay.
Stand with him.
Oh, sorry. You're right. You're right. You got to stand right there. Okay.
Well, because I'd see him outside.
Okay.
Like, even though he's very busy, he'll have time, and he was very interested in the young people because of the debate, right or wrong, and either way, I got to see I got to see everything he did, that he was working with, and I couldn't imagine him doing everything like that, and then worrying about it home, because he actually did a lot. I didn't like him, but then I started liking him because of the things he had to do, and a lot of times you have to do things just to satisfy people. But he was I'm surprised he resigned.
Really, really. So that you've always thought of that.
Yeah, because he went out. Wow.
Now you're going way back.
Yeah, because I asked to get out of the White House, and they didn't understand. It's a very proud group, and very high people are trying to get there, and they're fighting for positions, and I wasn't. And he looked, that's why he saw me. He says, everybody's fighting to stand right there, and you're not. Why? It's cold in D.C. I told him. I'm from Texas. I said, I don't want to be outside. It's an outfit where you have to work. If it's, like the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, they keep going back and forth 24 hours a day, rain or shine.
Rain or shine, yeah.
And they have, the drill team is very good. And you just keep stepping up if you want.
Correct.
Or you can stay with the funerals and going out on the football fields performing. And then they have the flags.
So you did that, the flags of the White House, the Capitol? Did you end up at the Capitol or just the White House? Were you able to go into the Capitol?
I went to the Capitol, but I never went in.
Oh, okay.
Because to me, like going into the one in Austin, but it's bigger.
Yeah, of course.
You gotta understand that when you're drafted, you really don't care about that, because the old guard used to protect the Capitol too. That's why I'm surprised about when they had
the insurrection. Yeah,
insurrection.
I hear you. Oh, I know.
I said, where's the old guard? Because there was no security.
Yeah.
But you know who controls the old guard?
Who?
The president.
The president. I know it. I know that. So who did you meet while you were there at the White House? Did you see Mrs. Nixon, the kids, and you knew them all? Or they knew you, or you just kept away?
You'll run into them if you're working.
Yeah.
And they'll put you, they're perimeters, they call them.
Okay, yeah.
And they'll put you around, and only if they happen to go by.
Cross, yeah.
There's a lot of security, and I see it on TV, and I see all the people trying to shake his hand and all that.
Yeah.
And then I say, well, all those people already screamed.
Yeah, of course. Well, Armando, who did you see, worldly or Hollywood or, just government?
Well, the one I would see more would be Jacqueline Kennedy. She was still hanging around a lot.
Really?
Yeah, she was, she lived, she had a condo in Jamestown, right outside Fort Myers. And then the people that are from out of the country, you don't get to see. You get to see it walking if you're there.
Yeah.
As far as talking to them, they don't.
Yeah.
They're and there's a lot of rules. Like if it's illegal here and it's not in their country, they can do the illegal stuff, but only like in Washington D.C. and
Yeah. She just
Okay.
cuts and pastes.
Yeah, I'll cut it out.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sorry. And you said Puerto Rico, DC.
All the districts that America has.
Yeah.
So, and they can, like, if they're a doctor, they can come and practice their doctoring, but only in D.C. And normally they bring all their stuff.
Yeah.
And we take all our stuff. We don't.
So you lived. Your job was the Capitol, or the White House. Your job was the White House, but you lived where? Where did you sleep?
I slept at Fort McNair and Fort Myers.
Okay, so you would go into the bases, the two bases
Yeah.
at night to sleep. Okay.
Yeah, because we all had. They'd call us out to go work for whatever they needed.
Yeah.
So we had meals around the clock, 2 or 3 dining areas, like good meals, and then hamburgers and all that.
Sure.
So people said, "Wow, you guys get?" I said, "Yeah, because they send us out and we come back when we come back."
So you got to enter the Oval Office. I mean, just enter to look, not to sit. I now know that you don't sit.
I thought.
Were you there, Armando?
No.
No te tocó.
No, I was. We split, and he was kind of saying, "Well, his Mexicans are dumb." He said, "Why don't you stay here?" Because I tell him, "I want to go back home," and he says, "Why? There's nothing there." And really, there isn't. If you look, like in New York and all that stuff, you look like, wow, like what cowboys steal and stuff. Well, because they do. They think that way. Especially when I was there, I got carded. One time I said, "I already showed my ID 5 times." He said, "Yeah, but I've never seen a Mexican before."
Wow.
Like, wow, what's so weird? But they didn't know too much about us. Yeah, I know. I said, "Wow, that's weird."
So I asked you who you saw. I know you said Jacqueline Kennedy, but who else from, that you know that they were on the premises, that you saw them drive up or walk down the hall or whatever?
I dropped by. I saw Noriega and his wife and Shaw
Really?
and Israel, the guy with the funny hat and the
I know.
what
The
was
Shaw.
it, Arafat or something like that.
Okay.
Those are the ones I saw, but I wasn't too interested in seeing them.
Were you invited to the big dinners, or those are different guys? Different?
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
And
Because I see soldiers in all those places,
Oh well, you have.
Yeah.
I call them decorations.
Because they just stand there.
Yeah, they just stand there. Later on, okay, when I got out, they didn't know what to do with me. They said, "He has the highest clearances.
Wow.
He can read, he can carry top secret stuff. He can go into places where they're talking about stuff." So they said, and General Westmoreland,
You got to know who he was.
I got to know who he was 2 times.
Okay.
I got to meet him at one of his bases where he places his tanks and all that. Demonstration for other people so they can see it. I got to meet him there. And then he heard that I was coming out of the White House. And one of his guys retired and he says, "I need you." I said, "Too bad, Nixon already
Got
let
me.
me go."
Oh, okay.
And he said, "Too bad, Nixon's leaving, and I'm going to tear your orders." He said, "I need you for 6 months. Maybe at the most 6 months. And if you do it, I'll give you 6 months early out on a project transition." Okay. So I did it, and then I was doing what you say, well, I was looking for tablecloth, crystal, and liquor for the White House.
Andaba shopping.
Uh-huh.
Qué padre.
Armando, how do you get crystal? $75 and above. No.
pitch.
the more expensive it is. Oh, wow. So that's what I ended up doing, because with Order could never
Y yo pagué taxes y él andaba shopping.
$30,000 for a tablecloth?
Really?
And this was in 71, 72.
Yeah.
You know, they said, well, the tables are too big, so you're going to need two of them. But we'll throw in the reweaving if you get them. Everything top of the line. Pero
Oh, sure.
my brother would say, que usted, que usted el otro. He's over there fighting the war.
I know.
And you guys are over there in your dress blue.
Shopping.
But you have to entertain foreign dignitaries, and you can't give them something cheap.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so
Of course.
and they do, and they think that they deserve it, and I think so too.
Well, of course, yeah. Well, that's the leader of the country.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they have a big job, and pobrecitos,
Yeah.
they even get old.
Any story you want to share with us that you recall, that you think of throughout your life, that you keep thinking, you say, my goodness. Anything? I gave you a week to think about this, Armando.
I know, but now you ask me. The first time I went in, and they said, and it's a funny thing because I don't know if it was. Oh, there's a couple of funny things. The first time they get you dressed, and you're not fully dressed. The only thing you're missing is your ceremonial belt, the blue one. You see in the Army has, and I was issued one. That's so many people. And they said, go check the bus. Make sure, we're leaving. Okay, so I ran downstairs. And I ran back up and said, we're not leaving. And they said, why not? Somebody stole all the seats in the bus.
The seats?
Yeah. And everybody started laughing. But once they go to the White House, they don't have seats.
Really?
Yeah, you wrinkle your pants.
Oh my God. Wow, that doesn't even make sense to me, but yeah, it does make sense.
It does. Have you seen them? They have the White House president. Look at the president. He's always dressed.
Wow.
And everything.
So everybody stands when they're in that bus holding onto something?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, makes sense.
I know.
So you don't get wrinkled, fíjate? Perfection.
Pero.
So you spent how many years or how much time?
I only spent 1 year.
A year. Okay.
Because the draft is 2 years, and I spent not even 1 year because I went to training. And they came out and they asked that one time, if you didn't want to be there, you didn't have to be there.
Yeah.
And he said, anybody? And I said, well, I didn't want to be here, but and he said, well, you don't want to be here, we can get you out. The only thing is they didn't have I never had that problem, so they didn't have the paperwork. And then they said, and we made you such a good boy that we don't have no reason to get rid of you.
Your mouth again. Okay.
So, those are the two funny things that I think. But I had a good time, I think. And I learned a lot, and I grew up, and there was a lot of advice from people.
Well, you're working at the top White House of the United States of America. That's pretty darn neat. I mean, look what you learned about shopping for the White House.
I know.
If nothing else, you got to see people come and go. And
I know everybody said,
interesting.
we fight to get into it, and you request it out, and we're fighting to be with the people that you do. You can just go in and deliver and come back and stuff like that.
Get your cap, show it to the camera, and tell us about it.
This is the White House. And I'm proud to be a Texan, so I had my Texan. And I also need the badge for the armor. Because Westmoreland sent me.
Because Westmoreland, really?
He sent me to Patton's tanks outfit.
So you can use that button or that badge.
Yeah, so I can use it.
Yeah.
And I even got a presidential citation. And I said, for what? I said, they're giving it to Patton's outfit, and you're in it, so you get one too.
Oh, shit, I'll take it.
I'll take it, yeah. And the 5 little stars, well, they're for Westmoreland. Yeah, 5 stars. And I put the Army in the middle, and then my national defense. But it's all there. Some people say, oh, like, okay, I see, and I respect all the, I just did it different. That's what's so weird. And I was exempt, and I couldn't, and just because and then the war ended, and it actually ended, look, it ended, I got out in 73, and they didn't get out of Vietnam until 75.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, no, it ended in 70. They were doing it, but it takes so much time. That's why I say people don't know what it takes to arrange everything.
Yeah. Just paperwork alone. Yeah.
To
You know,
take all that
signatures
equipment and all that.
Of course.
Into, that's why I thought it was such an easy job. And I said, oh, and then to take care of everything. And then Nixon to quit. To resign.
To resign, yeah.
I said, shoot, look at Trump.
That's another story. No, it's not. We don't have to edit. Thank God our listeners think like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell me about your boots, because your boots sure are pretty.
I know, right? But I don't get to use them anymore. But my wife made me clean them, so. And then you called me for the interview, so I had it. The only thing is, I took all those taps out.
They had taps.
Yeah, they have
Oh, my
metal
God.
all the way like that, and then a big horseshoe.
So they
in the
could hear
bottom.
you coming?
And marching when you're marching, and when you hit your heels, like the soldiers.
Yeah.
But ours went real loud, and when everybody does it in unison, they.
So yeah,
So,
amplifies. So those boots were worn where?
They're called the White House boots.
They're called that.
Yeah, because we have to have them, but they're exempt from the White House.
Which means?
I asked them the same thing, and they said, it's not formal wear.
Okay, yeah, of
Then
course.
why do we need them? You're supposed to protect the White House, and you don't come in your formal, you come in fatigues.
All the rules and regulations, mijo.
But it was okay. I said, yeah, they're nice boots. I'll take them.
Armando, as we close our little interview, how many children or you have?
We have one daughter,
A daughter.
Doris.
How old is Doris now?
Doris is like 52, no.
No, she's
15.
probably about that age. Okay,
Right,
wait.
golly, both the doctor.
Okay, you have one daughter and she's how old? About 52. Because y'all been married, what, 55 years, 54 years? I'm asking you difficult questions.
No, it's because, wow. Now we're into my, Dale got pregnant when I was in basic training. So she got pregnant before I left, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
immediately, yeah.
So they sent me back. Then we got married, and then we went back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I said, oh, she's. And by the time I got there, we got married on the 6th, and Doris was born on the 29th.
Oh, how neat.
23 days later. So
Grandchildren? How many, does Doris have children?
Doris has 4 boys.
4 boys.
She never got the girl.
Yeah.
And
That's okay. Okay, but how many children does Doris have?
Doris has 4 boys, and we have 2 grandkids off of her first.
Already? Oh,
great-grandkid.
that's wonderful. You know, after the military, tell me what you did for a living. After you were out, when you got back home.
I went to school to get my medical license in physical therapy
So that's what you did all your life, physical therapy.
for about 38 years.
And you were working out of where?
Well, I was working all over Texas at one time because I was traveling, and off of San Antonio,
Okay, okay.
because believe it or
And
not,
physical therapy as far as with a ball and with bands or with your hands or both or everything?
both.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Okay, so I can call you next week sometime.
Yeah, I get it.
Tengo un brazo que me duele.
Uh,
Anything else, Armando, that you wanted to share with us before we close our little interview here?
no,
Covered everything?
I guess so.
Yvonne, anything?
No,
No?
no, very interesting though.
Yeah. Well, I do you think that you're the only human that came out of Edgewood that ended up at the White House? Do you think so? I mean, that you know of?
I think so.
That you know of?
Because, oh well, I know that when I was going through the White House clearance, they checked, they talked to I think Miss Nichols,
Miss Nichols, yeah.
and who else? Some principal, and also all the references I had were visited, and they asked them.
They did. They came around for everybody. Wow.
They even, one of my godfathers was out of town, and he went on temporary duty to do something in Lubbock, and yeah.
They found him.
They went to his company and said, oh, we have him working in Lubbock. So they said, give us an address, and
So
one
they
day he said,
really looked
"I don't
into you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They do. Dalia's grandfather passed away while I was going through the clearance. And they told me if I wanted to emergency leave, they let me out. So I called Dalia and I said, Dalia, I'm getting a plane ticket and I'll be at your grandfather's funeral. She said, what? And I said, well, your grandfather died. No, he didn't. She said, we don't play like that. I said, oh, okay, never mind. I didn't, and I went back and I said, man, it was embarrassing for me to tell that to my wife, and she loved her grandfather, and then she called me.
They already knew that he had died before dying. Oh my God.
Then she called me back and said, how did you know?
Wow.
I said, well, I'm going through that clearance, and they're checking
Wow,
everything.
they already knew.
They knew before.
Hijo, man. Interesting. Okay. Armando, so that's so interesting that the government knew that she had lost her grandpa and she didn't even know yet.
Right.
And you found out before she even knew about it. Very interesting, Armando. Boy, oh boy. So, I mean, you know how they say Big Brother's watching? Big Brother's watching. Big Brother knows what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. Armando, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure. I mean, I've known you forever, and I know your stories, but I wanted to share this. If you're the only person that came out of Edgewood that ended up at the White House, that's pretty darn neat. And of all people, you go and you
And of all people,
and
right?
you meet with Nixon. I think that is neat. You know, your general, oh my goodness, those are names that, if we know anything about history, if we know anything about them, I've heard of these names. I've heard of them. So just the fact that you knew them, that's pretty neat. I thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the family that also gave themselves to our country. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And give Dalia a hug for me, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.